everybody, my name is Eric Hopkins and welcome to my YouTube channel. If you're finding me for the very first time, please click that like and subscribe button. And don't forget to hit the notification bell so you get all the notifications about when I put up new content right here on this channel. So Andy Muschietti has been online in the recent weeks here promoting the upcoming Flash film that he is directing. The IT director has put out pictures of, Ezra Miller's logo from his chest piece on his new suit. We've seen Michael Keaton's Batman logo that had a little bit of blood stain on it as well. And we've also got the logo for the new Supergirl played by Sasha Calle. And now that the film is being currently in production and is now shooting, that also leads to set photos being leaked. And unfortunately, that is a thing that studios absolutely cannot stand. They've even gone so far as to say and ask people not to share the set photos of the Supergirl outfit for sure. And I can understand why, as we're going to get to here in a minute. But let's go into some of the pictures that were released. We're not going to go through every single one of them here, but I did want to touch on a few of them that I think are kind of relevant. Obviously, here we see Ezra Miller as Barry Allen in a nice suit here, and he's standing next to the actress who played Iris West in the Zack Snyder Justice League cut that was 4 hours long that is currently streaming on HBO Max. This version, or any version of Iris West, actually was cut from the theatrical cut that Joss Whedon made, which is actually, as far as I know, still considered canon in the DCEU. But it's nice to see the actress getting to come back and play Iris West here in the Flash film. Obviously, the little bit amount of screen time that they had in the Snyder cut, they had good chemistry together, I thought. So we'll see how that goes with their relationship as it continues to bud here. Obviously, as we all know, Iris West is the one who ends up marrying Barry Allen in the comics, and also on the CW TV show if you've been watching that at all. And of course, like I said, we've got Barry Allen here, played by Ezra Miller, coming out of what looks to be a courthouse or something to that effect, some sort of government building. Could this be, from the speculation is that this is from the end of the film, could this be when, his father is found innocent of Barry Allen's mother's murder that happened when Barry was very, very young? As in the Justice League, both cuts, they showed, Barry's father behind bars for the murder of his mother. And of course, this film is going to heavily revolve around the fact that Barry Allen's Flash travels back in time to either try to prevent his mother's murder or, at least stop his dad from being, considered guilty for that crime. But I believe the comic book storyline goes, he tries to save his mother from death. And when he does so, it screws up the timelines, and he visits other universes and dimensions and things like that. So it leads to a lot of craziness in the DC world. So obviously you can see now how Warner Brothers is wanting to use this film to reboot their current DCEU, or at least give it a soft reboot where they kind of correct some of the errors that they've made up to this point and start fresh and start anew. So it'll be interesting to see if that is the storyline here, and perhaps this is the end of that storyline here at the very end where his father goes free. We'll have to see how that goes. But some of the other photos that were released here, this is a big one. This is a look at Michael Keaton as a much older Bruce Wayne, reprising his role from the 1989-1992 Batman films that he was in. Obviously, he's still got sort of the same haircut. They've given him a little bit of a white-haired, grayish look. Obviously, I believe this is a hairpiece because Michael Keaton doesn't really have this much hair anymore. But this makes a lot of sense to put him in this because it kind of has that same, hair look that he had back in the 89-92 films. So it makes the sense to kind of put him in this light here. And obviously, I think he's still got the look here. And obviously, there was another photo here that was released of his car, obviously in typical Bruce Wayne fashion. This is a film that, or a car looks like he would definitely be driving. And correct me if I'm wrong, but this kind of looks a little bit like the 1989-92 Batmobile, how it's long in the hood in the front and of course a little bit shorter in the back. So it kind of gives the old school Batmobile vibes here. So obviously, I think we're definitely going to be seeing Michael Keaton don this Batman suit at least a little bit in this film. And the reports are saying that Michael Keaton's role in this film is much larger than we previously anticipated. So it sounds like he's going to be in the film a lot. So if we get him in the Batman suit, which they've clearly teased, I hope we're going to get the 1989-1992 Batmobile also showing up in this film, which I consider to be the best Batmobile ever to be put on film. I like some of the others as well, like the Tumbler and, of course, the 1966 Batmobile as well. But I think the Keaton Batmobile is the best Batmobile that has ever been put on film here. So I hope we get that back as well. So let's go and check out a couple of these other, or at least one more photo I wanted to get into here. And that is, of course, the photo that the studio is asking now to not share. And obviously, there's been a few of her costume here that have gotten out online. And I can see why they want to have them taken down or ask people not to share them, because it's not finished. I mean, if you're looking at this, you're kind of like, what's going on here? I mean, she's wearing a harness. First of all, it's going to pull everything up. It obviously, her protection around her midsection or whatever is obviously showing through. I'm not sure that's going to come through like that on film. And of course, there's no cape. If they do it like they did with Henry Cavill and the Man of Steel films and all the films that he's been in, clearly the cape is going to be CG animated. So it's going to be able to do what they want it to do. It's not going to get in the way of certain acting scenes and things like that. So it's obviously, we're going to see it tweaked a bit, by the time we see it in its final form. But the other big thing about this costume I thought was interesting is not only the thumb holes around her hands, but also the fact that it's now been confirmed that Sasha Calle is going to have short, dark hair in this film. The typical interpretations of Supergirl has obviously been Kara, however you might want to say it. She has blonde, long hair. But I don't necessarily think that she is playing Kara here. I think the reports are saying she's playing Laura Kent, I think was the name of the name. Laura Lane Kent. So this could be an alternate timeline version of Supergirl that we're seeing here, since Barry Allen is going to be running back into time and meeting different Batman from other universes in Michael Keaton, because Ben Affleck is also in this movie, who is the Batman that Ezra Miller knows from his timeline. So could we be seeing an alternate version of Supergirl? Obviously, both Marvel and DC are going to be playing with the multiverse idea moving forward here, and multiple different incarnations of characters. So I think everybody who's getting upset over all this stuff really needs to just calm down when it comes to, different variations of Loki in the Loki series or whatever that might be. We're going to be seeing different variations of a lot of characters that we know and love in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, as well as in DC. Obviously, DC has a Black Superman film that is in development that is being produced by J.J. Abrams and his Bad Robot Productions. But that they've already confirmed that Superman is going to take place on Earth 2. So it's not going to have anything to do with the main DCEU timeline, so there's really no reason to worry about it. Let's see what type of different interpretation of the Superman character they have in store for us here, and that leaves the door open for Henry Cavill to possibly still yet return in the DCEU. So this right here could be another example of that. Kara could still be around, and her version of Superman, or Supergirl, I should say, could still be around in the DCEU as well. We obviously saw in Man of Steel that there was a broken pod that did not have a body in it, so obviously, many people speculate that is the Supergirl from the DCEU has already been on Earth for a long time, and we have yet to see her. This could be that Supergirl, but I tend to think with the design and the look of the suit, obviously it's very Kryptonian in nature. I like that about it, and I think it looks good overall. But this could very well be an alternate universe Supergirl, and we could still meet Kara at some point, or Kara, whatever you want to call her. So I think that everybody that's a little freaking out about this just really needs to calm down a little bit. But obviously, anytime you get set photos like this that are taken out of context, you're going to have a lot of controversy and conversations online about what all this means, where they're going in the movie, and things like that. I tend to think that in situations like this, it's just best to wait and see a trailer, best to wait to see the movie in its finished form as it's intended to be, which is why the studio is a little upset that these got out. And obviously, it led to David F. Sandberg releasing some of the costume photos for his Shazam Fury of the Gods film, because he realized that, hey, we don't know how long we're going to get to keep this under wraps, so I'm going to be doing a video discussing that as well, so look for that on this channel also. But I'm just excited about where DC's going with this. I think the Flash film is going to be good, especially if Michael Keaton's Batman is in this more than we originally thought. It appears that he's going to be taking on possibly a Nick Fury role, where he could be recruiting some more characters to come into the Justice League, or maybe a Batman Beyond. We could maybe getting a version of that story told here on screen. We'll have to wait and see what they do, but I'm definitely looking forward to what DC has in store. I know everybody loves the Snyderverse. They want to see it restored. Heck, even a part of me wants to see what Zack Snyder had originally planned, and maybe we can get that on HBO Max or in a comic book or something at some point, an animated movie or something down the line. But with that being said, I do think that DC has some good plans in store. I think it's best to us to just kind of maybe be patient, let them show us what they have in mind, and hopefully it will turn out for the better here in the end. But the real question here is, guys, what do you guys think about the DC Flash set photos that were leaked here. Do you like the photos? Do you think the film doesn't look good? Or what are your thoughts in general on it? Comment down below. Let me know. And don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button. And don't forget to hit that notification bell so you get all the notifications about when I put up new content right here on this channel. And until my next video, guys, take care.